Okay, what an American thinks about Croatia. Okay, I'm gonna do this even though I have another 60 kilometers, so hopefully nothing eventful happens tomorrow. And if it does, then I won't do it again. Um, but I feel like doing it now anyway. So, um, Croatia is pretty hilly. There were lots of hills. Yesterday I went over like three big hills. Today I went over a big hill, a 380-foot hill. Um, um, but yeah, I went over like three hills yesterday that were bigger than the one today. But and it's been raining, but raining intermittently, not as much as the other days last week, which was cold. Um, the villages are pretty much the same as in other places in Europe. You know, lots of little villages connected, and but here I've noticed that the people have their own like fields where they grow food. There's a lot of their own food going on, so they live off the land more here than in those other countries. You know, like Czech and Slovakia and southern Poland. They were doing it like that though. But here the buildings, they don't really finish the buildings. They don't paint the buildings. It's like cheap. It's like poorer, I guess, what it looks like. Um, you know, just bricks and then no painting on top of it, and then lots of bombed out villages. I went through a section of a country yesterday that was minefields and empty buildings everywhere. It was really weird with like graves and stuff. So that there was like a war zone there, and it was well within Croatia. But anyways, when I first came into Croatia, I noticed there are lots of people who have really dark skin, like just as dark as Mexicans, of dark Mexicans. Um, Only their facial features are kind of European. So I don't know, maybe they're the Gypsies, the Roma. And I did see about some of those people like that today. Um, and then there's the other Croatians. Um, One weird thing about Croatians is I think that a lot of them wear the like the soccer outfit. It's blue with the white stripes, and it's like the outfit, the bottoms and the top, like not sweatpants, but like the soccer outfit, I guess. I guess yes, that kind of sweatpants. But it's funny because like I saw a guy like today in this town in a street dressed like that. I think the same exact one. And then I was watching the video, music video, and the guy singing the video was dressed like that. And then I remember that movie with Gene Hackman and Owen Wilson called something or whatever, where Owen Wilson gets shot down in Serbia, and then he spends the whole like movie like trying to get rescued by the helicopters, and there's that like Serbian tracker after him who's dressed in the soccer outfit, man. So, anyways, Serbians speak English. Not as good, not very good English, but maybe even better than the Hungarians and the Poles. I would say better than the Poles, but not really. But I mean, today I was like, where's the next town? And to these younger guys in the like the convenience store, and one of them could speak English, but they pretty much don't speak English. One weird thing that I noticed about Croatians is that there's lots of old women, like outside, doing the laboring, like the cutting of the trees and the planting of the bushes and the yard work and stuff. And usually it's men who do that, but here it's women. And not just Croatia, but Eastern Europe. A lot of the people doing the manual labor outside, they're old people. Um, like in America, it's Mexicans. But and then today there was this guy on there's lots of people on really old tractors, like old tractors that don't go that fast, going down the road. I saw some of those in Hungary too, but the ones today here in Croatia are even slower and older. Um, and people, kind of what I've noticed here, aren't as, and it's definitely kind of been progressing civilly going down, I guess. People aren't as like happy and cheery, like hey, like they are in like Holland and Germany, and then it's a little bit lesser in the western part of Austria, but like Eastern Austria, they're happy, hey. But then it's a little bit less in Czech Republic, and then like, but like here in Croatia, people, you look at them and they're kind of like, kind of like I don't know, different countenance, if that's the word. Um, but but I don't know. I went into a Zagreb, and yeah, like the guy in the worked at the hostel was kind of like that. But like I went into Zagreb, and I've noticed that there's lots of men with really long hair in Zagreb, and a lot of men like with the hair like me, like really long hair to hair just like me. Like I could probably be mistaken for a Zagrebian just because of my hair. Um, and and in the center, in the central square, they have this thing where they had all these people doing like make building things their traditional way, weaving baskets, carving, stuff in crystal glasses, hacking away, like carving, figures and stuff out of like animals out of wood. I mean, you name it. They had like everything there. Guy making candles, and then they had the band there was cool because I got to listen to some like traditional music. But yeah, and they're dressed in like knights outfits and like dressed like from like hundreds of years ago. It's like, this. I think I read like in the Wikipedia article that Vienna is like where they mix the old and the new, but not really, not so much Vienna as freaking Zagreb. It was like a freaking museum in there. But lots of like cobblestone streets in the middle of the town in Zagreb too, not just Poland. Yeah, and then when I went into the first day in Croatia, it was kind of weird. The guy who they insisted on stamping me out of Slovenia, and I didn't get stamped in Slovenia. There were no cops there, and then the cops like wanted to stamp me out of Slovenia. And then when I went into he was kind of gruff about it. And then I went into like Croatia a little bit after that. He wanted to stamp me in Croatia, so I stamped him in. And he's like, "You have money?" Or no, first he's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Zagreb and then Serbia." It's like, why do you care anyway? And actually, somebody in the hostel asked me that, like, "Where did you come into Croatia?" Like they're like spies or something. I don't know what their deal is, but. And then he's like, "You have money?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me see it." And I was like, "All right, well, here's my cash." He's like, "You have card?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me see it." So I was like, "Okay." It's like, what? I'm an American, dude. You think I'm going to come to Croatia to do illegal work? Look at me. I've got a bike with bike clothes. And look at my passport and all the countries I'm in. I'm obviously bike touring. But anyways, he let me in. And then a little bit later, I got like... I have a really big map that doesn't show all the little towns, and so it kind of makes it difficult to like find which road you go because it doesn't say. And I kind of got like funneled into the highway, and as I got on, it was a toll highway, and as I got on the highway, it was a toll. I asked the girl, I go, "Hey, bicycle, good highway, yes?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, just go that way." I was like, "Cool, man, bike on the highway." Plus, I saw the sign, and it has like the circle around something, and has bike, and then has tractor, and then has like horse, a guy on a horse. But there's no X through it. There's no cross through it. And, in America, there's a cross through it, and that says no. But what I didn't notice is below it says autopista with the cross through the word. And then they have those things in front. So I should have been like, duh, no bike on the highway. And there's no bike on the highway anywhere in the world. And I saw that same sign in Poland where I rode on the highway for like 10 miles. Luckily, nobody pulled me over. But, yeah, I'm riding down the highway like, yay, man. But anyway, these road worker guys pull me over, and they're like, "Dude, put your bike in the car, man. We're gonna call the cops. You're gonna fine. You're gonna have to pay." And I was like, "Oh." So they drive me down the road a little bit, pull me off, and then I took my bike out, and they like 6 guys like from 2 different trucks. They like stand around me, and they're like, "You have to wait here 10 minutes for cops to come." And so the cops come, and I was explaining to those guys. I was like, "Look, the sign. There's no X through the sign. Number 1. Number 2, the girl told me that I could go on the highway." And I had to like say this with like sign language because none of them could speak my language of English, and I can't speak Croatian. So when the cops come, and I say the same thing. I was like totally trying to defend myself. I didn't want to get a ticket. And then they were like, "Follow me." So I ride my bike after them for like a kilometer or 2, and then they're like, "Yeah, go that way," and they're really friendly, and they just point me on the right direction down to Zagreb. And I tried to make it clear to them that little Mrs. Girl told me that I could go on it. So anyways, that was nice of them not to give me my ticket and make me pay. But yeah, so then I rode down, and Yeah, it was like lots of rolling hills and stuff. One thing that Croatians do though is they honk. Some of them more than other countries. They honk at you when they pass you or before they pass you, which I guess they think that's being nice, but it's kind of annoying for me. And then also they like to yell at you as they pass you, like scare you, like boo. That happened only twice, but that's 2 times more than my entire trip, and but by kids. But anyways, yeah, Zagreb. Croatians are nice. I was at the hotel here, and the guy was. I was like, "Oh man, it's kind of expensive. Where's the hotel? Is there a hotel on the border?" And the guy who works there, he's like, "Oh, go to this other hotel." He gave me directions to go there and said it was cheaper, so I go there, but it wasn't cheaper. And then they had full rooms anyway, so I came back. Okay, so I'm out of time. That's what American thinks about Croatia. Okay, bye bye.